Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to an inner child hypnosis session that was created for a client that had a long-term eating disorder. And the particular eating disorder that they had was bulimia, where they would quite often purge after eating, sometimes binge eating first before a purge, and sometimes just a mealtime. And that was partly linked to emotions that they felt. And some of those emotions were linked to feeling stressed or uncomfortable. And then the purge would help to mitigate that. So they were being rewarded by purging rather than rewarding by digesting the food. But they had two exceptions to this, and one was when they were pregnant, that they were able to eat their food and digest their food, not because necessarily they wanted to, but because they felt it was important for the livelihood and the nutritional need of their unborn child. So that gave me the idea for this particular hypnosis session for this client is to use inner child work, but for two reasons. One, that they could have a representation of a part within them that was deeply in need of kindness, love, and nutrition. But secondly, because they wanted to be a good role model for their daughter, they were worried that if they didn't make this change, that they would be consciously or unconsciously increasing the probability that their daughter would also have an eating disorder. And what that does for me as a hypnotherapist is it gives me emotional leverage so that we can create a neural pathway which is already there. They had evidence of putting someone else's needs ahead of their own. But of course, the inner child represents both. It represents a way for them to be a good role model, but also for them to nourish themselves and that part within them that really needs kind behavior. So there's a bit going on here. It was created for an individual, so not all of the suggestions are going to make sense for anyone else because every eating disorder is unique. It has its own triggers, known rituals and routines. But if you think that hypnosis might be something that is right for you, but you're not sure, there will be a link in the description where you can take a very quick suitability test. It takes about 1 minute, maybe 2 minutes, depending on how fast you complete it. And then you'll be able to figure out very quickly if hypnosis is something that would be suitable for you and if you're suitable for hypnosis. So if you're curious, you've always wondered, would hypnotherapy be good for you? Check out that link in the description and complete that suitability test. For now, though, let's give you a hypnosis experience based on this session. So find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe in that slow, long, relaxing breath, and as you exhale, just allow your eyelids to close. That's it. And as they close, start to feel a growing sense of connection with yourself. Become aware of certain things that normally happen without you noticing. The rhythm of your breath, any sensations of tension somewhere in your body. And as you breathe in, just imagine breathing in relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of release. Like any stress, tension, and worries are slowly leaving your body in your outward breath. That's it. And I wonder if you can use the power of your imagination to imagine a color that represents kindness. Maybe a bright color like yellow, blue, or purple, or something else. And as you breathe in that color of kindness, allow yourself to release any stress, worries, and tension. And as you exhale, just imagine dark, shadowy colors like gray, black, leaving your body in your outward breath. Breathing in relaxation and kindness, and exhaling anything that's there that you would like to release. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. As you consider this an emotional transfusion, breathing in relaxation and kindness, and exhaling anything that feels toxic, stressful, any sadness or pain, just allow it to leave your body in that outward breath as you continue breathing in that color and exhaling the gray and the dark. And find yourself drifting deeper and deeper relaxed. And as your body relaxes, your imagination awakens. And I wonder if you could imagine a big house with a big backyard, a kind of garden with a deck and a pool, a big tree with a nearby bench. And allow yourself to just explore that garden, that yard. And maybe you could imagine blue California skies. You could even imagine the sensation of sunshine on your skin, gentle breeze perhaps, but allow yourself to experience a sense of freedom and play. Continuing to breathe in that relaxation and kindness, and continuing to let go of anything that is no longer useful. Deeper and deeper relaxed. I want you to consider this garden a part within you, a peaceful part where imagination, memory, and emotion all meet. And in this wonderful, safe space, I'd like you to imagine a path that starts in that garden but leads elsewhere. And as you walk, you begin to sense that you are not alone. And maybe you could imagine a bench under a tree, and sitting on that bench is a child, sitting alone. But this child looks thin, weak, and tired, with sad eyes wide with longing. And you can think of this child as a representation of your inner child. You get to decide the age of this child, the gender of this child. It doesn't have to be you from your childhood. It just represents a part of you. And maybe this inner child is young, unsure, perhaps even malnourished. Maybe you get the sense that this child is hungry, not just for food. I want you to imagine that this young, malnourished child is hungry also for care, protection, consistency, for love. And I wonder if you could imagine sitting beside this child and just notice how the child looks at you. Maybe they're looking at you like a long-lost friend, or maybe a stranger. Maybe they look uncertain or hopeful. But deep down, this child wants to trust you. And as you sit beside this child, you feel a warm commitment begin to grow inside you. A vow, a promise to never abandon this child again. All of us have this inner child that needs play and love, protection and nourishment. And I want you to imagine that you are the adult that this child needs. And what if you get to choose how this weak, fragile child is nourished? Out of nowhere, I want you to imagine a table appears, beautifully set, full of healthy Mediterranean foods. I want you to see salads and fruits and vegetables, but also perhaps freshly prepared bread or croissants, maybe olives, tomatoes. I want you to see a feast of ripe fruits, wholesome grains, colourful vegetables and nourishing proteins, all prepared with love, the way a parent would care for their most beloved child. And I want you to offer this child something from the table. Allow your intuition to choose it. Allow your intuition to choose something that you know this child will like, desire, but also need. Look at their face of gratitude, deep appreciation. There is no entitlement here. They weren't expecting the food, but they are craving the food. And as you see the child take it and eat it, notice their body is already responding. Maybe their skin becomes a bit more vibrant. their eyes a bit brighter. Maybe you see more energy in that weakness. And with each bite, the child grows stronger. Because food is no longer a battleground. It's a gift. It's love and it's safety. And then I want you to imagine something even more fascinating. That as you start eating the food, feeling the sensation in your stomach, I want you to get a sense that you are now feeding the inner child through your choices. Every bite you take is not for you, it's for them. That as you eat, they become nourished. As you enjoy, they enjoy. But enjoyment isn't what you bite and chew or swallow. The way you impact this child is what you digest. In the same way, you can't nourish a body by just chewing food. Imagine that you can't nourish this inner child unless you chew, swallow, and digest. And I want you to imagine that any emotions that you feel after eating, perhaps stress or discomfort, maybe a craving or a compulsion, isn't real. It's just an echo of old neural pathways. Scientists have discovered that if someone loses an arm or a leg in a car accident, they can still feel the sensation of itches or tickles on a limb that no longer exists. And if that's possible for them, it's possible for you to feel discomfort after eating, because you're teaching your stomach how to hold on to food, how to digest food. You're teaching your body new skills, and those skills can be uncomfortable, and that's okay. So with every healthy meal you choose, imagine that it's not just about you. You are sending a message to your inner child that they matter, that they are safe now, that you are there for them. And because they're malnourished, you prioritize healthy, nutritious foods. And you know that by digesting them, it's a gift to your inner child. And a gift to your inner child is simply a proxy for a gift to your child. Because as you learn how to intuitively eat healthily, you are becoming the very role model to teach your daughter a way of eating that you would want them to replicate. Imagine now joining you at this table. Right next to this inner child is your daughter. See their face. And I want you to eat the food the way you would want your daughter to see you eating. Mindfully, enjoyably, intuitively. That by eating this way, you are sending unconscious messages to her as to how to eat in a natural, healthy way. As you feed yourself, you are feeding your inner child, and maybe your daughter is learning. Maybe she sees a mother that prioritizes nourishment and balance, intuitive, healthy eating, who shows that food is not to be feared or controlled, but to be embraced with joy, curiosity, and care. What if you are becoming the safe place that your daughter needs? A mother who teaches, not with words alone, but with actions rooted in love. And not every meal has to be healthy and nutritious. I want you to see other foods on this table too. Foods that might be more processed or less healthy, but not everything has to be nutrition. Some food can be just for taste and pleasure, just to enjoy. From this point forward, I want you to imagine that every meal is no longer just for you. I want you to imagine it's a healing ritual, a ceremony of reclaiming power, a declaration that might end a generational cycle, and this cycle ends with you. So from this moment forward, food becomes your way of nurturing not just your body, but the inner child within, and a little girl watching from outside. Children will pay more attention to what you do than what you say. And what if every meal is an opportunity to be that role model, to be that example, to show, not say, an intuitive, positive relationship with food. And I wonder if you can bring your awareness to a future moment, no longer in the garden, but in your home, in your normal surroundings, perhaps just a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks from now. I want you to imagine that day by day, progress by progress, breakthrough by breakthrough, there is a new relationship with food, a new pattern. And maybe you could imagine watching yourself preparing a beautiful yet simple meal. Imagine that you are eating it in the presence of your daughter, and eating it slowly, mindfully. And feel your daughter nearby smiling, relaxed and content. No tension, no shame, no secrecy, only love. Because your healing is her inheritance. You are teaching by living, by being. Get a sense that this is the future you are heading towards. Then take yourself back to that table, that bench, that place in nature near a garden you knew very well, and it's time to say goodbye. But as you say goodbye to that inner child, you see that they are already looking more nourished, already looking healthier and happier and loved. And make a promise to that child that you will eat for them. And if you feel that you can honor that promise, let me know by nodding your head. And sometimes things don't need to be easy. They just need to be worthwhile, important. Humans will do more for others than they will do for themselves. And what is a gift to this inner child is a gift to yourself and a gift to your daughter. And then imagine going back to the garden, this time holding your daughter's hand. And I want you to play with your daughter the way you used to play in this place. Maybe in the pool, on the deck. Play near the sunshine. Just play. Feel that connection, feel that love. And the same promise you made to your inner child, you can secretly, just in your own mind, make a promise to your daughter as to what kind of role model you want to be. It's time to leave this place in your imagination. But you leave with a different perspective, a different strategy, a different way of thinking that will lead to subtle or dramatic changes that will steer your future in a wonderful direction. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. As now I count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, where you will return fully in the present, fully in the moment. Starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.